I'm very pleased to see that the Global Healthcare Committee is launching a wonderful set of programs and facilities for the healthcare of devotees all around the world. It is something that is really required, all the more in this day and age when pandemics and various other types of diseases are so widely prevalent. And the question naturally arises as to how we, as spiritualists, should deal with the subject of health in relation to our spiritual activities, specifically our service, our seva, our sadhana, and so on. Of course, we have many other departments in our life too. We have our health, we have not just our sadhana but also our seva, maybe our preaching or any other service we are doing. And if one is working professionally, then there is one's profession, one's financial situation, one's family, and so on. So there are many departments in our life, and they all need to be balanced. Everything in the universe is based on a healthy balance. Balance is the key word. And that is actually the root of dharma, tri dhatu, that which upholds the whole universe from the cosmic level to the micro level to the individual level to the environmental level. It's all based on balance. The cosmological forces, distances, and movements, etc., are all balanced by Krishna's divine arrangements. In the environment, the seasons, the movements of the natural forces on the earth, they also happen by Krishna's divine arrangement, and they are subtly balanced. Similarly, at the micro level also we see balance playing out everywhere. Similarly, at the level of our health, of our own personal lives, and for the sake of our well-being, balance is really very, very important. The traditional healthcare systems like yoga, Ayurveda, etc., have emphasized a lot on balance as an important element of health. For example, yoga speaks about the subtle airs in the body, the pranas, which need to be balanced. When the pranas are not balanced, then it manifests in some form of a disruption, which we call a disease, or some kind of difficulty or distress. Another form of yoga deals with balancing the 5 elements, the earth, water, fire, air, ether. And also, of course, the mind, intelligence, false ego also have to be balanced by higher sattvic pursuits. So we have, for example, the mudras, by which one manipulates the different elements, and when any of these elements are not in balance, there is disease. In Ayurveda, there is the balance of the 3 doshas, kapha, vata, pitta. When any of these 3 or a combination of them is not in balance, there is a disruption. That's called disease. So whichever way we look at it, the balance is very, very essential for our lives to maintain harmony and to maintain some steadiness and sustainability in our spiritual practices. After all, we cannot sustainably continue our spiritual practices when there are constant disruptions at various levels, whether it is at the social level, interpersonal level, financial level, and the level of the body and the mind. It is most conducive for us to be able to steadily continue our service and our sadhana when we are successful in striking a balance. It's easier said than done, of course, because situations in the world are always changing and the balances that we have to strike are dynamic. So indeed, it is a difficult choice at every moment that we have to make sometimes. But nevertheless, it's something that we really have to pay importance to. I remember when I joined the movement first, and in the initial flush of euphoria, we used to think that looking after the material body was Maya. And therefore we neglected the body much to our peril. And as the years have gone by, we are discovering the flaws, the deep flaws in that approach. And we are realizing that it is indeed important to look after the body, because if we don't respect Mother Nature, Mother Nature will not respect us. Even though we know that we are not the material body, but we are within the material body, we are still living within the material world. And if we do not respect that properly, not too much, but not too little either, then it will have consequences. And every disruption in any department of our life, be it interpersonal relationship wise or health wise or financial or anything else, will have an impact on our Krishna consciousness, on our sadhana, on our seva. So, therefore, it is paramount that we somehow or the other, intelligently, judiciously, try to strike that balance. And the essential elements of good health, which we need to focus on, are of course food, sleep, exercise, and to try to diminish stress to whatever degree is realistically or practically possible. When we strike this dynamic balance and we give due weightage to each element that is responsible individually and collectively also for our overall well being, especially our spiritual progress, then we have succeeded in striking the balance. So, prioritization means that we give due weightage to every element. That means that we recognize its value and importance, which means that we do a particular activity at the time when it is supposed to be done, to do the right thing at the right time. So, eat when we're supposed to eat, sleep when we're supposed to sleep, etc. So, striking this balance in a very conscious way, being very aware that we have to strike that balance, whilst at the same time not being unnecessarily obsessed with the body, which can also be spiritually harmful. So, when we strike that golden mean, in Sanskrit it's called the Suvarna Madhya, the golden mean, then we will find ourselves being much more productive, and we will find ourselves in a feeling of wellness, to an enthusiasm to be able to do our services properly. So I'm very happy that this initiative of the Global Healthcare Committee is taking off, and I offer my heartfelt support and best wishes to all, and my gratitude to all the devotees who are involved in this activity. And I urge all the devotees of our movement worldwide to please plug in into whatever way they can into this project, and also at an individual level to try to strike this reasonable, judicious balance between the demands of the body, the mind, and the soul. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.